Okay, hello SMC club members. Today I want to talk about making some granola. Now I know granola is not the hardest thing out there, but sometimes the ingredients and the different things that people put into granola is what we're paying attention to. Or this is what I want you guys to pay attention to is what kind of stuff actually goes into it. So let's take a look over here. Granola is very, very versatile. As you know, you can put some M&Ms, salted nuts, and now it's some trail mix. You put some milk in it, and now you have it as a cereal. So one of the things we could do is we can buy it in the store, right? 4.74 for 12 ounces. What I could eat this for 2 bowls and it's done, right? When I make it myself, I can make a lot more. That's another reason why I want to learn. Well, there's a whole bunch of ingredients sometimes in those packaged ones. For example, I mean, this is a whole bunch of different things, but one of the things, high fructose corn syrup, yuck, don't want to go into that. Fructose is okay, but there's usually high fructose corn syrup in there. Sometimes the top 5 ingredients, 2 or 3 of them are oil. Why? Well, because they want the crunchiness for the granola. So, one of the things that I want to, when I make my own granola, I want to make sure that I know what kind of ingredients in there and put the best ingredients possible. Why else? Because we're athletes, right? We want the best fuel. We should have the best fuel for our bodies, right? So this is a female, just in case you guys please the ladies. There's a female right here. You just can't tell because she's dressed up. So, but anyways, we want to have the best fuel. So let me go ahead and show you what the recipe is going to look like. So I've taken 4 cups of organic thick rolled oats, flaxseed, and some sesame. But you can put anything: almonds, raisins, walnuts, any kind of thing that you want in here. I like to take flax seeds and sesame seeds because they seem to last a lot longer. Like walnuts, depending on if you have it in a hot pack, it could, kind of cause the walnuts to go bad because of the high fat content. So I try to have something that is going to be able to be carried very easily. I usually use honey, but you can use agave, you can use 100% maple syrup. I try to stay away from sugar. Again, people say, well, gosh, you're going to be climbing all those calories off anyway. Who cares? Well, if we're an athlete, we want to put the best form of fuel in our bodies. And honey and some of the agaves and 100% maple syrup, they don't have fillers in it, and they have all the wonderful nutrients that were in it from nature are still in it, right? So that's kind of why we want that. I usually put a vanilla extract, or sometimes I put almond extract, and that almond extract makes it taste like maraschino cherries, those red cherries that are on the top of ice cream. If you put almond extract, it usually tastes like that. The options are raw almonds, raw sunflower seeds, raisins. I would suggest if you're going to make this in the oven, leave the raisins out while you're cooking it, and then put the raisins in once it's done, right? I have a Excalibur dehydrator at home. I love it, right? Because I take all the stuff I want to dehydrate, I put it in my dehydrator, and 15, 16 hours later, it's done, but I'm not in front of the oven. I'm not paying attention to what the temperature is, making it stirring it up. It's done. I put it in there and it's done and over with. Today, I put some chocolate chips in here. Now, I wouldn't suggest putting chocolate chips if you're going to put this granola in your backpack, right? Because it's going to be all melted and mushy. But, maybe M&Ms would work a little bit better, or some of the other dried fruits. Okay. So let's come on over here. Let me show you how easy this is. So I'm going to take a little bit of vanilla, some honey. I have some sesame seeds, and some flax seeds, and some granola. And I like to have the thick cut, not the thick cut, but it's a thicker cut, rolled thick, extra thick. And here's the reason why: because if I take it and I have the powdered or the instant, I have a lot of powder in there. I don't want that. I want the actual oat. All right, so now you're going to see how I really work things out. I hardly ever measure things, right? So I do have a YouTube video, and you'll notice I never measure things, but you're gonna might want to measure the first time. And I do have the recipe up there. So I'm going to take about a half of that. I've already measured the flaxseed and the sesame seeds out. You can use wheat germ. You can use any kind of, again, seed that's going to hold its own in heat. I try not to use things that, like walnuts, again, I love walnuts in it, but I'm going to add that when the cereal's cold and I know it's going to remain cold. So I'm just going to shake that up a little bit, stir it. And now for the honey. And if I do it well, I won't have to add more oats. But if I don't pour it well, I'm going to have to add more oats. But as you see, I don't measure anything. I just go by the feel of it. That's right, and the texture. So I'm going to set that up there. Make sure that the table's nice and sticky, right? And I'm going to stir that around. And in the beginning, it's going to stick to itself. No big deal. I just keep doing this. Now, when I have it in a dehydrator, again, I'm going to add my little bit of vanilla. Like that. Again, I don't measure anything, but I really want this to taste good. Now, when I put it in my dehydrator, what ends up happening is I want to start off with it extra sweet so that when it's dry, it's going to have a palatableness when it's done. If I put it in my oven, the same thing. I want to have it start off a little bit on the sweet side, and then, and especially with the extracts, start off with a little bit more of the extract so that if you can smell it when it's cooking and dehydrating, it's still going to have some left into the recipe. I'm sure, again, this is not the end all. I'm not putting cricket parts in here. I mean, I'm sure that you've seen online that they do. That's, yeah, cricket parts and all kinds of different things. I'm going to start with the basis, the very basic things, and then I can add whatever I want with this. As it is, so look at this. I only used half a package, and I have all of this. This was about $4.99, half a package, and I only used maybe a tenth of this. So we're talking about a big volume of granola. I'm able to make sure that what kind of ingredients are in my granola and look at the volume, right? And how does this store? It stores wonderfully. So I might have this, in a container, and if I had some nuts or something in it, I might put it in the refrigerator. But if I have this just like in a container, I can keep this for weeks, right? It doesn't last that long in my house. All right. I do have tasters and testers for everybody. And that's simply how to make granola. So you can see here.
You just put that in the dehydrator?
That's right in the dehydrator. Now, I'm glad you asked that question. Why are they putting oil in our granola? Because they want the crunch. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like frying things. It's going to have that crunch to it. So I don't want that. Now, I know, because I'm a climber, I can definitely take care of those calories. It's not that big of a deal for me to have calories from oil, because I'm going to burn it off. But why would I want oil? Like, oil there's no nutrients left in it. It's just fat, right? Yeah, exactly. So I want to add fat in there from my cashews, my sunflower seeds, my flaxseed, seeds, all kinds of different ways to add fat. Maybe I'm going to put this together with some peanut butter and chocolate chips and roll it up and freeze it and have it as a cookie. I mean, all kinds of different things that I can do with this. And I don't want oil in it. So when I put it in a dehydrator or in an oven for a long, in the oven, very low heat for a longer time, what ends up happening, it will crunch. It will dry and get crunchy. So as you can see here, this is a finished product. Listen. Right? Absolutely no oil in it whatsoever. Okay. Well, there it is. There's how to make granola. Very easy. Stay tuned because I would like to do more different trail snacks. I eat a whole food plant-based diet, and I take those wonderful foods with me on the trail. So I have all kinds of ideas of how to have high calorie foods, but still coming from whole foods. So stay tuned. Maybe Karen will let you come back for another one. Okay. Oh, go ahead. Question.
So I saw when you were pouring the vanilla extract that you were going like that, but I know that oats, they tend to absorb the extra, and extra by itself is kind of bitter. I don't know. Is it better to apply while stirring?
Probably.
Maybe.
I never had that issue,
Okay.
And maybe because like I'm stirring this up now, and there's going to be plenty of honey that covers all of that, right? So I think that maybe if I had maybe not stirred it well. Also, the very first time I put it in the dehydrator, I let it dehydrate for about 2, 3 hours, and then I turn it again. So it's already warm. So whatever that liquid was went into the other areas, and now I'm stirring it up again. So I've never had that issue. But yeah,
How long in the dehydrator, did you say?
I have an Excalibur, and I usually fill all 9 trays. And that takes. This one took Monday night till this morning. So Monday night 8 o'clock till this morning about 6:30. Yeah.
I just have one of the smaller.
The round ones.
Yeah, well, it's square, but I can have like I just this week made some my first fruit leathers.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. So it's fairly small, but it has 3. You can stack as many as you want.
Right.
You can buy extra trays. I think I have 5.
The Excalibur, I don't know.
I know.
I'm sailing. It's like,
I'm
yeah,
not
that's so
gonna buy it.
wonderful, right? But I did have a round one before that only had the coils and it had the heat circulating just by airflow. And that one took a lot longer.
Okay.
And some of the other things that I make, I make it with sprouted grains, and those took forever in those small dehydrators. So my thing for you is to watch the texture. When it gets like this, that's when it's done.
So, but it would generally maybe take longer than. With
Yeah,
the
I would
Excalibur.
imagine definitely. Okay. Any other questions? All right, there it is. Thank you. Thank you for joining.
All right.